been reports of like with Molly, and that's now a big thing in the dancehall. But is it something that the JCF is concerned about?
It is something that we monitor. It's nothing new. I think the way people are talking about it recently, it's as if it's this new thing. But I mean, I don't remember the code. My chemistry is poor. But I am something. Yeah?
Yeah.
Which is ecstasy, which is Molly.
Okay.
So
as in the chemical name?
so for us,
I thought it was methamphetamine.
yeah,
No,
methyl something,
Get the chemical name.
right? So what I'm saying is though, it's not new.
Right.
And so Molly is just the current iteration that we're referring to it as. It's not new in terms of cultural significance, because in the 2000s, people would sing about X. And people would sing about Hennessy and X. People would sing about weed and X. So it had a place in entertainment culture. So in that regard, I'm not shocked.
Okay.
But I think that it is maybe experiencing somewhat of a resurgence in attention. I don't have the data to suggest that there's a significant increase in usage. I know that there is a video that went viral with somebody speaking about all the young people being addicted to it. I don't know that there's a significant surge in usage, but what we know is that when things become a fad and when things become popularized in music, and I listen to the songs, I know what's trending on TikTok, etc. So when you have that, you're going to have people who are going to, a new generation who are going to be exposed to it. So you have people in their late 30s, early 40s who are like, come on.
Children.
You poor kids. This is nothing new. But we also mix that with the fact that people have never really, they are road for like a while. So you have a set of people coming into their coming of age season, their season where them can go party now, and they're now potentially using. So a couple of weeks ago, for instance, the JCF put out a video on TikTok, on Instagram Reels, where we were trying to remind people, okay, outside a keep again, parties everywhere. There are certain things that you need to be mindful of. For instance, we were saying to people, especially women, if you're going out, make sure the only person pouring your drink is a bartender. If you're going to the bathroom, finish your drink. If you can't finish the drink when you come from the bathroom, don't drink it. Like certain basic things like that, because we know that this is a reality.
Right, because it wasn't even Molly, it was like date rape drug.
Exactly. So there are things that people call Molly. For instance, there are things that people used to call ecstasy that really maybe is poor man's ecstasy or poor man's Molly. That, I mean, if you know a bit of chemistry, you throw some stuff together and it has a particular chemical reaction in your body. So it may make you feel lucid, it may be drowsy, it may arouse sensory perception, it might make you aroused sexually, etc. More, it might cloud your judgment. And in that regard, we are always telling people to be careful. There are certain things that maybe it's not a crime under this act, but it's a crime under another act. So for instance, are you licensed to be in possession of these things, or to be procuring these things, or to be dispensing things? If not, you might be in breach of the Pharmaceutical Act. You might be, in another instance, in breach of the Dangerous Drugs Act. You might be in breach of even an assault on someone for giving them, causing them to ingest something without their permission. So there are different ways in which you can be committing an offense because you are choosing to do these things.
This podcast episode is brought to you by Itopia Life Herbals, or Cannabis and Culture combined for a one-of-a-kind experience. You can visit them at 10A West Kings House Road, just across on Canadian Embassy. Also, you can follow them on Instagram at Itopia Life, or visit their webpage at itopialife.com for the latest info on strains and merch. This video is also brought to you by Pure 24, pure natural supplements designed to enhance the body and mind. They make supplements affordable, effective, and easy to use. You can visit their website at pure24store.com. Their product ship worldwide. I don't know, so you can use that promo code TheFix to get 50% off all purchases. That's promo code TheFix. That's a new pointing technique, just. Okay, all right. To get 50% off all purchases. All right.
But then there are people who they know they're taking something. They say you're not slipping it into their drink. You're willingly ingesting it because it makes the party nice or whatever. Yeah. But that has been the case. People have been engaged in recreational drug use for some time. Yeah. I mean, it's not for decades. But what we would say is the same things that we would say to everyone. Mm-hmm. You need to not take substances, especially when you go out, that are going to cause you to not be in control of your person. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, you could fall prey to another crime. Right. So there's so much that we could, talk about in that regard. But it's something that, I mean, in terms of the police from the narcotic side is concerned, in terms of Sissoko has always been concerned about these from the sexual offenses side of it, because there are people who will use these things to cause you to be compromised and to let down your guard. Mm-hmm. And those are things that, if you think you've been the victim of that, then you make a report. Because remember that, for instance, where date rape is concerned, it's not just about, remember, rape is by definition is not simply about you saying no or not saying no. Yeah. But it's also about your faculties and your right. So consent. I might say that Ariane didn't say no, but if I gave you something which diminished your capacity to say no, then now I've committed a crime, and I think that, I mean, a good lawyer could pursue a case against you.
I know you said that you don't have access to the data right now, but there is, I know that you said that, Mali and those type of drugs have been around for a while, but there's a growing feeling that it's growing in popularity in usage amongst young people right now.
In schools.
Do you have access to those reports, or are you feeling that feel?
Again, you have to bear with me. Yeah. I'm coming from the background of, I've taught in high school for a long time. I'm a teach schoolgirl for a long time. Mm-hmm. These things are not new. These things are not new. From that, you understand? So forgive me for being slightly cynical where that is concerned. These things are not new, and they're not new in the music either. Right. Right? But what I would say is sometimes things go on peaks and troughs, waves of popularity. Right. And you might see people fall prey to it. It's just like, I mean, every academic year, you're going to have some students who gave other students weed brownies or weed sweeties or something like that. Yeah. It happens all the time. I mean, I don't want to create a phenomenon where there exists none. I'm simply saying this is something that recreational drug use, and it's something that you could explore with National Council on Drug Abuse, because I've seen all data about recreational and experimental drug use that people engage in. That's also why I would say I don't find it fascinating in that regard. Not that I take it for granted, because we treat it with the same seriousness that we've always treated it.
Fair.
I like it when my Netflix nasty. Me a go give you that style, but me tired of the fussing and the fighting, girl. Time for you ride it, girl. Tired of the war and the quarrel, girl. Time for you ride it. Them gyal suck me like a sweetie. Them off for pay while them gyal give it freely. Like really? Yeah, really. Dog, we no give a fuck if you want pre me. Man a band killer go and go hawks beanie. Never miss match when me stepping on the street G. Pipe up, girl, you know me not tease you.